You're not going to cut in the UFC, are you?
Yeah, we might need some drums over that.
You're just the man for it.
Yeah, I'll add them in once we get the studio set up.
Sweet. That's what, 1 week from now.
Yes, thank God. Won't be long.
Welcome to episode 3.
Yes, this is the GoldStar Podquest, and it's episode 3, Remakes. You came up with this title.
I did. I think it's a pretty good subject to hit on.
Yeah, because there's a lot of remakes, and we'll get into the definition of a remake, what we think qualifies for that. What have you been up to since our last episode?
Well, you see, you were talking about Peggle.
Yes, I was.
Peggle 2 on the Xbox, which is a downloadable game
right
for the 360. So I took it upon myself to get on eBay, my best friend and my worst enemy, buy Peggle for the Nintendo DS.
I like how they call it dual shot to stick to the DS name.
Yeah, so I pretty much Peggle DS for the DS, bought it, came 3 days later, and guess what? Beat it.
Already.
Peggle and Peggle Knights.
Nice.
I went hard for about like a week.
You got a part on Review Goombas to do on Peggle DS.
Yeah.
It's cool because they got the Peggle Knights already installed in it, and I had to buy Peggle Knights for the 360.
Mine came with it.
What do I hit here? Just enter?
You don't have to hit anything. Just hit, it'll go away.
Well, I think I messed it up.
That's all right.
Take that remote.
That's all right. You just take over. What have you been up to?
Well, I was going to do a gamer score check-in at the beginning of our episodes now, and it's just going to update the people on how I've been doing with my achievement score on the Xbox One and Xbox 360.
And how are you doing so far?
Well, check this out.
Oh, got it already prepared for us.
81,510 gamer score, and that is probably up about 750 since our last episode, which ain't too bad. I put a little bit of work in as I got all the achievements for the new Wolf Among Us episode 2.
Yep.
And a couple of Call of Duty Ghost achievements.
Okay.
But, yeah, there's that. That's the check-in for this episode, 81,510. We'll see how much that goes up on the next.
What's the gorilla for? Can you put that back up there?
Oh, that's the gorilla is actually a gamer picture.
And you chose that?
Yeah, they have the Xbox One has about 200 you can choose from.
Okay.
I don't like the fact that you can't use the Kinect camera to take a picture of yourself and put it on. Which
you think that'd be like intuitive? Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Well, that camera there that you're using, you could use that for the Xbox 360, which you're not on right now. Let me throw you on there.
Yeah.
Anyway, you can use that for the Xbox 360 and do a gamer picture with that for the and. So I don't know why the Xbox One didn't do it yet, but I think in a future update,
it'll happen.
They'll probably do it.
So your reputation is only a good player. With 81,000, I think that'd be like spectacular.
Well, the problem is with the Xbox One, actually for the 360, mine was a lot worse because I get angry over Call of Duty.
Yes,
so
as we learned in the first episode. Yep.
But I don't know how you set a reputation on the Xbox One yet. It seems like you can't go in and set reputations yet. So it's everybody's is stuck on good player until a future update.
Gotcha.
So anyway, we had a problem last week. We were supposed to do a new episode.
Yep.
And it didn't work out.
Things went awry.
The podcasting god said no.
Yep.
You know, we sat here for like 3 hours. You did Pokemon cards, and I did computer failure.
Yep.
It sucks. I mean, I can't believe. I don't know. Brand new computer. So why? Let's not get into it. Let's just hope everything goes smooth this time.
But real quick, since you mentioned it, the Pokemon cards, Pokemon X and Y trading card game booster packs just came out not too long ago. I have bought a lot of packs already, and I only need 15 cards out of 146. 15? Yep. And I have my little book here. I'll just show you.
You got your binder handy. I was wondering what that. I thought that was your homework.
No, I don't have homework.
Technically, it is podcasting homework.
Yes. So,
all them fresh. Are they new sheets? Did you buy new sheets?
I just bought new sheets. Yep. Boom. Look at this. This is all the XY trading card game cards. I'm not going to do them all.
Wow.
I could, but I'm not. I only need 15.
Wow.
So
I miss card collecting. It's been a long time.
yeah, I'm pretty excited about it.
Well, with that being said,
Yep.
we're going to go ahead and get into Mrs. Freshly's news.
Boom. What she got for us?
Let's check her out.
The guy from Odyssey?
That is Abe's Odyssey. Abe. Sounds like DuckTales NES version.
Review.
Whoa, let's not go that far.
Oh.
All right, there we go. We got Mrs. Freshly's news. Do you have any news that you would like to talk about?
The Pokemon Bank finally came out for North America.
I read on Game Informer that it finally dropped. As soon as I read it, I was like, I bet Cam has it already.
Dude, I was on Wi-Fi getting it, downloading it as soon as it happened. And yes, I already got my Celebi. They made it a little difficult to get because you got to open the bank, open a transporter, do this, do that, go back, do this, and bam, you got Celebi.
That's right.
But I got him.
So the Pokemon Bank, have you had a lot of time to play with it yet?
No, but I did transport over the legendaries that I had that I wanted to: Dialga, Palkia, Hose, Lugia, and Landorus, Thundurus, and Tornadus. And Giratina. So I got all those in there. So I'm pretty happy about that.
Yeah. For me, I found something really cool for the Xbox One. Let me show you this thing right here. Look at that. It's got all my favorite colors in it, so you know I'm buying it. It's a $60 controller. Now, I'm glad I didn't buy a second controller for me and my wife to play Peggle too and stuff like that, because now I can dip into this.
This gives you a reason to get one.
Controller. Yep. I love it. And the guys that you know that have a YouTube channel, Sudoth Media, I believe it is.
Yeah, Sudoth Media HD, yep.
He actually got his in the mail already from Amazon. They shipped them early. I was like, oh, I'm so jealous. I can't wait to get mine.
Did you watch the whole unboxing video?
Yes, I did.
And you were probably just drooling the entire
the whole
time.
time. Yes, I was.
Now, can you explain to me what Titanfall is?
Titanfall is a game coming out March 11th for the Xbox One. It's also dropping for the 360, which means it's a cross-platform game, which I don't like when they do that because all they're doing is upgrading graphics a little bit. But I do think they made this specifically for the Xbox One and then decreased a little bit of value for the 360.
Okay.
And why, I don't know, but the 360 version's coming out later than the Xbox One. And it's usually the other way around. So I'll take it because I'm getting the one version anyway.
Yep.
It's actually like a mech game, which I'm not big on mechs like Transformers and big giant robots. Was never big on them. But this game is supposed to revolutionize the way multiplayer games are played, and I'm hoping that that's the case, and I'll have a lot of fun playing.
Well, how much better can they get?
I know
multiplayer games.
That's a question that everybody asks all the time. Like even with video games in general, how better graphics can you get? Like how do you make the frame rate better? You just can't imagine it until it comes to you, and then you're like, I see.
You're right.
I see. But yeah, I can't wait for that. I just signed up for the beta, and I hope I get a code to play a little bit early access.
That'd be pretty sweet.
Speaking of early access, I got a beta key to invite for Project Spark. Project Spark is a game that where you make your own game.
All right.
Okay, I got a key for the PC version, and I played with it a little bit, and it kind of teaches you how to code in video games.
Okay.
And it's an easy system to learn, but I just wasn't into it. I thought I would like it, but I didn't like it that much, so I might not buy it for the Xbox One. I might just pass on it. Maybe wait till it's $20 and then mess with it a little bit.
Okay.
But you make your own little character. You make enemies around the world. You can build mountains and all kinds of crap. It is kind of cool, but it takes a lot of your time up. You know what I mean?
So they took Tony Hawk's Create Your Own Skate Park and just blew this up.
Pretty much. And you could say that Tony Hawk stole that from Excitebike. Because Excitebike was one of the first video games that you could create your own stuff. And that was awesome. That's why I love that game so much.
Boom. Back to its roots. NES, yo.
I was recently navigating the Game Informer website, and I want to thank Kyle Hilliard because he's been showing me some stuff recently. And this specific thing is something that looked like an old Mickey Mouse cartoon.
Oh, Pluto! Oh.
not the black and white one, but the Technicolor, right when that started. I immediately clicked on it as I wanted to know what it was and when it was coming out. And this game is called Cuphead. And I would like to feature them on this episode because, man, this game looks real cool. And
I saw a snippet of this.
Yeah, I found out it's two brothers that are making this game, kind of like us doing our show. Yeah. It's two brothers that work a full-time job and still try to find time to make this game, just like us.
Just like us.
You know, so it's real cool. There's a lot of neat stuff. So let me show you a video real quick of Cuphead.
All right.
Look at that Super Mario World style. Yep. Man, this guy's got some skills. Whoever's playing. Not much of a video. Here, I'll show you the other one real quick, too.
Captain Silver. Who's that remind you of?
Pluto. From the Popeye. Was that his name?
I think that was.
He always tried to steal olive oil.
Yeah.
From Popeye. Well, there you go. That's it's Cuphead, and I can't wait. I mean, I was very impressed. I mean, it's a very simple style game, but dude, I'm gonna love it. I love the style of the whole game. It looks real fun.
The 1930s,
right,
hybrid run and gun.
Yes.
Boom.
So that's gonna be pretty neat. Back to the mod when I showed you that Titanfall controller. I wanted to show you a couple of. Check this out.
Oh
Boom.
my goodness. TMNT NES.
That was made by Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Not the football player.
No, not him. That'd be kind of neat if that was his side hobby, which I don't even know who he plays for anymore.
Who does?
Anyway, that's one of them. And I went and I looked for other custom mods, so I'm going to show you a couple different ones here.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Oh, man.
Mega Man. I feel sorry for the people that are listening to the audio-only version of this podcast because they don't get to see this cool stuff.
No. That's beautiful.
Another Mega Man one. And I think that was made by Ryan Fitzpatrick also because you can see it's like the same style on the top and all that.
Yeah.
How about that one?
Boom. Paper Mario.
That was pretty sweet. Got another Turtles one. Just somebody drawing Michelangelo on the top, but I like the way the gray combines with the colors of that.
Yeah, that's a nice piece of art.
Ready for this one? Wow.
Dude. Yes.
Dude, that kind of reminds you of the new DS they released for the Link.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's cool. Check this one out. Dude, that is hilarious. When I seen that, I said, dude, no way.
Please tell me that's real.
I can't even. It's a KFC Wii, people. And it's got the kernel on the side of the Wii, and there's an actual drumstick as the Wii remote. It's awesome. Look at that.
Dude.
And when I seen that, I was like, Cameron's going to buy one of them.
Are they for sale? Because
I'm pretty sure you can find them on eBay or get somebody to custom one for you.
Man, that's a slick controller.
Check out that 360.
Oh, Xbox, whatever.
I know, but that is sweet.
Yeah.
How about that?
All right.
Boom.
All right.
That's the slim version right there. And I believe that's all the pictures I have for the mods. Oh, there's tons of them on there.
Oh, yeah.
I used to check the websites, and the one guy on Amazon or eBay, he was charging like $200 to customize your 360 with LED lights, any kind of carving you wanted. Really cool.
Would you pay that? Would you pay $200?
Back then I would have, but I never took advantage of it.
So that's pretty sweet. I'd definitely buy another one to keep original, though.
Right. Nowadays, it's like, I don't know. If I did, I wouldn't even play it. I would just have it for aesthetic value. You know?
Yeah. I saw an old mod of a Game Boy,
right.
the original Game Boy, the brick.
Yeah.
Somebody backlit one of them. Just turn on, bam, it's got a light, just like the Game Boy Advance SP. I'm like, dude, that is sweet.
That is awesome.
I'm like, it's not, it's not one of the greatest mods out there, but I mean, that's pretty darn cool.
Yes, sir.
You're
Hey,
not
check
get much
this out.
battery out of there for 4 AA's though.
Boom. Bargain bin.
The bargain bin
with the little Koopa Troopa.
Paper Koopa Troopa.
Do you have any bargain bins? I haven't been shopping around that much.
Well, Peggle.
Oh yeah, Peggle.
Peggle I got off of eBay.
I
got that
Peggle is the pinball for our generation.
It is definitely the pinball of our generation.
I like it, and I'm glad you like it because I feel like I schooled you to it.
I'm glad you introduced me to it. Yeah,
pretty cool game.
And we actually had a conversation about that on. Somebody commented, one of our fans, and said they can't believe that I did not know what Peggle was.
Oh yeah,
Mr. Adam Griffin.
Yeah.
So
Peggle is awesome, dude.
I know, and I beat it. So
it's made by PopCap, the same creators of Plants vs. Zombies and a couple other games.
Yeah, they in with the packaging of the DS Peggle, they had a big P sticker. I was like, that's awesome.
P?
Yep. For
Where'd you
PopCap.
put it at?
No, it's still in the box.
Oh, I might take it from you.
Don't do that.
Yeah, I didn't really find anything. I did the games for gold. I did the Sleeping Dogs for free that I got. I would have did the Laura Croft and the Guardian of Light, but I already own that game, so I didn't need to.
Well, you know what? I actually do have my bargain bin here.
Oh, look, a whole bag.
Last time we went
you came prepared.
Yeah, last time we went to Megatronics, actually.
Oh, yeah. The time I didn't get an invite.
Yeah, so if you have time, here we go.
Hey, go for it.
I got 6 Game Boy games for pretty cheap. So I got Tom and Jerry's Mouse Hunt. Oh, what's up? For the Game Boy Color. Donkey Kong Country, also for the Game Boy Color. Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories for the Game Boy Advance.
Didn't you get the DS version of that?
No, I was going to.
Oh, okay.
But I did not. Alfred Chicken. Who remembers that game?
Alfred Chicken. What kind of name is that?
I had to get it. The original tennis. One
is that the Mario?
No. Well, I think he might be featured in it.
Did you just fart?
No, I did not fart.
Okay.
I think that was the cat.
Cat.
And then Home Alone for the Game Boy.
Look, Macaulay Culkin.
Yeah. So all these Game Boy games for
now is that the
$20 maybe?
The NES version of Macaulay Culkin, or is that the actual picture of Macaulay Culkin?
That is the actual picture. It's got Joe Pesci and that other guy on there.
Awesome. That's Daniel Stern, who you probably never seen Wonder Years. That was probably before your time.
Was that the TV show?
Yeah, with Fred Savage as a little boy.
I do remember that.
Daniel Stern was the narrator for that series.
Okay.
I not knew that. Fun fact.
Wasn't his dad like a real prick in that show?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, I think that's the only thing I remember, him always yelling.
Yeah. And his brother was always a dick to him, too. And his brother now is big time into pro wrestling. I think he runs his own promotion down south or something like that. Just a couple facts you might have not knew.
I definitely did not know any of those.
I've been playing a little bit of Skyrim.
Have you?
I went back and revisited. I created a new character. You might have not ever heard of this guy. He's from the Forgotten Realms, like Dungeons and Dragons type deal. Drizzt.
Yeah, he was in Baldur's Gate.
Yes,
he was an unlockable character.
Do-Erden, they call him. And I created him and accidentally saved over him already. So I just went back to my level 48 guy. I'm trying to get to level 50 to get that achievement. I think I have 1,200 out of 1,500 achievement points for that game. Yeah, so I'm close to having that 100% complete. It was originally 1,000 points, but with the 2 DLC packs that came out, that added an extra 500 gamer score value to it.
So you got both DLCs?
Yeah, I got the Dragonborn and the vampire one. I forget what that's called.
Sweet.
Dragon Guard or something like that. But
speaking of Dragonborn, just real quick, Game of Thrones Season 3 comes out on Blu-ray Tuesday. I will be getting it that day.
We'll probably wait till the following weekend, because we're moving into the new place. Yes! Can't wait.
Boom.
Yeah, I'll definitely buy that. I did see it. You said you rushed through it. You have to watch it again, kind of to soak everything back up.
Yeah, it was on demand for like 2 days, so I had to watch all 10 episodes in 2 days.
Yeah. Now, Newsroom has one more season, and then that's it.
Yeah.
When's that second season come out on Blu-ray? Do you remember when you bought the first one? Because it's always like a year from that date.
I think it was around this time, actually.
Yeah, I think it was more like spring.
Well, it's an HBO series, so...
Yeah, it is. I mean, probably 2 months after Game of Thrones, I would think.
Yeah.
Because I think Newsroom starts right after that ends. That's going to bring us into our spotlight subjects. So,
boom.
Where we're going to be talking about remakes.
Remakes. Spotlight subject. Good music.
You know where that's from?
Oh, I definitely do.
Of course you do.
I'm actually wearing that shirt right now.
Oh, yeah. Yes, you are.
We'll show the viewers then.
I'll tell you what. If you listen to the GoldStar DS song, Somebody That I Used to Know, and you listen to the Super Mario Underworld theme, like next to it, he took some bits from that, I'm telling you.
All right.
Better believe it.
I'll definitely check it out.
So our spotlight subject, like I said today, is going to be remakes.
Yes.
You wanted to talk about this.
Yes.
Do you have any games that you think... Well, I guess before I ask you that, I should quickly read what I said here about this. When I think of a remake, I'm not thinking of a remaster, the difference being just mainly upgraded graphics for a new system. A remake is an entirely different game than the original, example being Tomb Raider. It's a remake. But the definitive edition that is getting ready to drop for the Xbox One and PS4 is a remaster. Same game, better graphics with the flowing hair, which is what they're heavily pushing for some reason. But anyway, I think when I think of remake, I think of something like, just like I said there, Tomb Raider. You got Tomb Raider 1 for the Sony PlayStation.
Yep.
And then you got Tomb Raider 1 for the Xbox 360. Yeah. Totally new game. They didn't just remaster it or anything, or it's not part 2. You know what I mean? Assassin's Creed 1, Assassin's Creed 2, that's not a remake. That's just the next game of the series.
Yeah.
A remake is when you're taking, a game and pretty much adding the same characters and just rebuilding a whole new system with it.
Yeah.
I think some of the best ones, one of my favorite ones is Punch-Out.
Yeah. The new Punch-Out for the Wii.
Yeah.
Yep. That was a pretty sweet game.
First, it was Super Punch-Out for the Super Nintendo.
But that was wouldn't you say that's kind of like a sequel?
Yeah. See, that's where it gets touchy with the remakes when you're talking about that. Like, what qualifies?
Yeah, because, it's like, the next console, the next game.
Right,
like,
right.
They got to have one game
I think
per
Super
console.
Punch-Out is like, it just... They were trying to bring the game back. They were like, let's do it. Boom, here's Super Punch-Out. And Super Punch-Out was fun. Really fun.
And hard.
Yes, it was hard. Even Mike Tyson on the regular Punch-Out was hard. And,
what's the code? I know you know the code.
007-373-5769.
I think that's it.
Something like that.
I know the first 6 are definitely right. I'll check those last 4.
Who was the guy that was the end boss for just Punch-Out? Not Mike Tyson. You know what I mean?
Super Macho Man?
Did they just go with him as the end boss then?
Well, no, because in regular Punch-Out it was Mr. Dream.
Mr. Dream, yeah. I thought it was something like that.
Yeah, in the regular Punch-Out. Why there was 2 Punch-Outs, do you know?
Well,
Mike Tyson's Punch-Out.
I'm pretty sure they might have lost the licensing. Like, Mike Tyson might have got bigger than the game itself, and they were like, we can't pay him this much money
or he
to
just
keep
ripped
his
off
name.
Holyfield's ear.
Or they might have had Punch-Out 1 first. I never did the research on that.
I never even thought about it until just now.
Right. But I did play both games. I beat Tyson before. I did do it. I was down at my buddy's house, and his brother came over, and he showed me how to beat him, and I did it. It took me like 50 tries, and before that, I went my whole life without beating him. It wasn't until I was like 17, 18 years old before I finally beat Mike Tyson, and that's pretty sad.
Yeah, because you were probably, what, 7 or 8 when the first one came out?
Probably around that. Maybe 5. Man, I don't know. I'll have to look at the date that it came out.
Yeah.
But do you have any favorite remake games?
See, I don't know, because Nintendo does like a lot of remasters.
Yeah, I know. But they might qualify. I mean, like this new Link Between Worlds. It's like a Link to the Past, but a remastered, remade new
and it's
version.
like a sequel, though. Kind of.
Right. So what's your definition of a remake then?
What is pretty much just what you said, but I know the remaster, like take Ocarina of Time, for instance, for the 3DS. Same exact game, just redid everything.
See, that's what I consider a remaster.
Yeah, that's what I mean, remaster, yeah. And they did beautiful job on that. And I think that's what Nintendo does a lot. It's just remaster things instead of remaking them.
Right, yeah.
So, I don't know, what would my favorite remake be? I don't know. Because Fire Red and Leaf Green of Pokemon, like that's kind of both a remake and a remaster. Because I mean, they stayed true to Red, Green, and Blue, and they redid it a little bit, and but they added some stuff to it, like different things going on there. So, maybe that's it. Maybe the Pokemon remakes are pretty damn good.
Mario Kart. Do you consider that a remake?
Again, with the whole Punch-Out thing, they just do one for each console, like
right.
Super Mario Kart, Mario Kart
Star
64,
Fox.
Double Dash.
Same deal with Star Fox?
Yeah. Yeah, because, Star Fox, they try to have one on each of those, too.
So we're in a pickle here, then.
Yeah.
Like, we can't even discover what qualifies as a remake.
Tomb Raider.
Yeah. I think maybe we should consider the remastered games as remakes in this case, because some of the greatest ones we already just talked about, Super Mario Kart, Punch-Out, Star Fox even, Tomb Raider.
Yeah.
There's a lot of games like Bionic Commando came out for the Nintendo, and then they just remade one for the 360 a couple years ago.
Yeah.
And it got bashed. It got a pretty low score. I played it, and I had fun with it. But the fond memories that I had of the original NES version, like they're so much better than the new one.
Yeah.
But it's cool flying around the city. Like any games that are like that, where like Spider-Man slinging around the city, I love those type of games. Yep. Those open world sandbox games that give you the freedom to go anywhere.
So,
Oregon Trail. They had Oregon Trail for that
PC.
that green freaking. The old Macintosh PCs,
yep.
Green screen, and it was like a bunch of letters and questions about what you wanted to do, and then they released it as a mobile version on the phones, and I think that's a remake, and that was awesome. That was an awesome remake. Yeah. I used to love Oregon Trail.
I missed Oregon Trail. That was in your generation.
That was before your time, yeah.
Yep.
You didn't get to experience the green screen computers.
No, I didn't. I definitely did the typing lessons, though, and that was really annoying.
Yeah.
Did you ever have the orange thing that they put over top of the keypad that you had to type?
No.
Oh, man. There's an orange skin that went over top of the keys on the keyboard so that you're doing a typing game, but you're not cheating.
So you can't see the letters.
Exactly.
Okay,
all
so
you
they
can
cover
feel
up
is
the
little
letters.
Bumps on J and F.
Yeah, right.
Jerks.
Should we take a break?
Yeah, let's do a break. I think we're about almost a half hour in.
We'll get out of our spotlight subject.
Boom.
And we'll take a break. We can't take a break.
Why can't we?
Because I don't have the videos loaded in here.
Oh,
Actually, I do. Here's our break time.
All right.
Stop fronting, you ain't saying nothing. I'm about to make the hill type moves.
to the back, hurt to the back, hurt to the back, hurt to the back, hurt to the back. They hard to tell that I'm about to make ill-type moves. Yeah.
Correct, we select on the set beats and rhymes that are both in check. The ingredients becoming correct, we select on the set beats and rhymes that are both in check.
See the shit don't stop until the break of dawn and goes on and on and on and on. Fucking you up every time that I try.
He said, I did all 50. I'm out.
Yes, that was actually me doing all 50 stunt jumps on Grand Theft Auto 5.
Bullseye 000.
Find me on Xbox Live. The description below will show you my gamer tag. So yeah, I did that. I should have told the people that if you didn't want to watch, I had to fast forward 7 whole minutes.
And 23 seconds.
Yes. So anyway, we're back now, and I think we're going to get into some review Goombas here.
But let's be honest real quick. Who wouldn't want to watch that?
That was pretty sick. I mean, I put a lot of time into finding each one, setting my camera up, and recording. I don't have a game DVR for the 360, so I had to use a cell phone camera and set it up on the tripod. It was a lot of work.
Dedication, my friends.
It's about a week's worth of work right there.
Boom.
So with that being said, I hope you're ready, because I'm ready.
I'm 50% ready.
That's good enough.
Review Goombas.
The old Tecmo Bowl NES. Boom. I hope you played a little bit of Pikmin 3 because we've been waiting for that review for a long time.
I got to keep you waiting.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, because look at that.
I know you played a little bit of it. Did you play the first and second one?
I did.
Did you?
I didn't beat him, though.
But you played enough that you can compare it to the new one.
No.
Well, you did play a little bit of the new one. I was here when you did.
The first time. You saw me play as much as I played.
What was different between number 3 and the other ones then?
Well, the controls.
Yeah.
You know, being that it's on the Wii U now.
Did it look a lot better with it being in HD?
Oh, man,
the graphics.
So fresh.
Who's that guy
so
there?
Fresh.
Is that a boss character?
It looks like
it's an
anteater.
Anteater, yes, but
it's just eating Pikmin.
So you never played against him in any of the old ones or anything?
No. I got to play it a lot more because Pikmin is the type of game where you can't just sit down for a little bit and play it. Like you gotta go
invest
into
time into it.
Yeah.
Well, the problem is I've never even played, or I've heard of Pikmin, of course, but I never knew what kind of game it was. I didn't. That's why I have questions about it.
Maybe I should just let you borrow a GameCube and Pikmin.
Yeah. Yeah,
I want to let you borrow a 3DS and A Link Between Worlds.
I think it's the type of game that Jen might like a little more than me, my wife.
Yeah.
But I would definitely play it and get into it and all that.
Yeah, so you know what? I'm gonna make an oath here and just say that Pikmin 3 review will be ready for episode 4.
All right, I'll give you that.
Lately, my schedule has just been a little hectic.
Right. I was playing a little bit of Dragon Quest VIII, like I said before, when our last bargain bin, and I actually made this guy here, King Trode, our mascot for Review Goombas right there.
I did see that, yeah.
You actually don't get to play as him. He gives you an alchemy pot.
So he's an NPC.
Yes, an NPC. That little hamster, you actually get to play as him, though. At a couple points, you get to like race as him down in the tunnels and stuff like that, which is pretty neat for an RPG game. It's something different.
Cool. Different element.
It's kind of like your traditional RPG, turn-based.
Okay.
I love how they have all the characters. It's a cel-shaded game. It looks very cartoonish. Yep. It blends perfectly. I only wish that they had a hookup for an HD cable for the old PlayStation 2 games, because when you play these games on a HD TV, they don't look nearly as good as your old tube TV.
Yep.
So I'm forced to play it on my tube TV to make it look better. But it actually looks great on the old tube TVs.
How big is your old tube TV?
It's actually pretty big. It's bigger than my HD TV. So, well
then.
it's about the same. So it works out in that way. But then I have to go into a different room to play it and all that.
Yeah.
But there's the map. It's a pretty big world. It's not. It's tough to say. For us, we enjoy going back to the older games and playing them. A lot of people, they just want the new stuff.
Yeah.
But I'm comfortable in going back and playing older games that I used to love, and even games that I never got a chance to play before. It's kind of fun going back and doing that. But anyway, review on Dragon Quest VIII. It's one of my favorite games ever, which we'll be talking about later. I would give it right now. Back then, I would have gave it a 9 out of 10. In today's standards, I'll give it an 8 out of 10. Very good game, and I enjoyed it a lot.
So back then, you'd give it a 9 out of 10.
Yeah.
I think that's what really matters, like the time frame.
Right,
of
and that's
when
what
it
you have
came
to
out.
take into account when you're doing when you're talking about older games.
Absolutely. And I just noticed is what you're using to hold up your microphone is actually my Wii Mini.
Yes, and that thing is awesome. You didn't even open it.
I didn't even open it.
That thing is neat. I like the way they made the new one look.
I like the plastic.
Do they have any different colors? You have the red and black one.
I think that's the only one.
I like how they go with the traditional red and black colors.
Yeah. And that plastic's like the same plastic used for the NES and SNES.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah. It's a good, great form factor. I like the way it looks.
Yeah.
How about a little bit of Peggle DS?
Peggle DS Dual Shot.
As we talked about a little bit earlier.
Yeah, we did. I didn't get to review it though.
No.
PopCap game, as we already said. This game is actually quite fun.
Yeah.
And extremely addicting.
Right.
Like the whole week I was playing it, like it, progressively got harder and harder, and like that level right there, really kind of got to me. But you're using the dragon, and the dragon, his power is the fire.
The fireball.
The fireball. So, once you hit one of those green pegs, you get your power up on your next shot,
exactly.
as you already know. And then
And
his
you get
special.
about 2 green pegs each level.
Yeah. Yep, that's set 2.
And
each
they
level.
change. Like, if you don't like the placement of them at the beginning of the level,
Restart your level.
and they'll change.
Yep. So when you use the fireball on this level, the bucket actually gets a cap over it.
Right.
So you can actually use that as a rebound, which I like doing.
True.
So your fireball shoots straight down, just wreaks havoc on all those pegs. He bounces off the wall, then off the bucket, as it's like a drum now, so it bounces, and then you get like an extra arc, which really helps
I
you out, especially
forget,
on that
when
level.
you hit the drum once, it goes away after that? Or does you just keep going until you... So you can't get an extra ball with that power?
Oh, yeah, with that power, you can't get an extra ball.
Because I'm used to Peggle 2 now, and they don't have the dragon as a character. The only returning character is the unicorn.
Wow.
Which is, I consider the mascot of the game.
He's like the Peggle master.
Right, yeah.
So.
They don't even have the owl returning, and the owl was like one of my favorite characters.
The owl was a cool one. Do you remember what his power was? I mean, I just played this game not too long ago, but I forget
can't
already.
Ask me that.
Man, they had
Right there he is.
a groundhog.
Master
Yeah,
Who.
yeah. Look at him up there. Okay.
It's the same exact characters that were on the 360 version of this game.
Okay.
You did let me play the DS version, and the one thing I noticed, and you can't really do a whole lot about this because it's on the DS. One is the physics. It's the frame rate ain't as smooth as, of course, a console system. Excuse me. And your counter, your aimer, goes the whole way down to the bottom of the screen on the DS because your screen's so small.
Yeah.
Well, on the console versions, you're only getting about half of your screen as the aimer. So the pegs on the very bottom there that you see are harder to hit because your aimer's not going the whole way down to them.
Gotcha.
And there's even a couple challenges where you have no aimer at all. So it's really tough when you get into levels like that.
Yeah. So real quick, some of the powers are. If you could go back to that screen,
Yes.
I'm sorry. The groundhog. Actually, damn it, I forget what his is. The next guy.
The hamster.
Yeah, the Egyptian pyramids. They come out and help you out. So you have an extended. They come out at the bottom, so they're kind of like the bumpers on pinball a little bit.
Yeah.
And then
I thought that was the crab that had that.
Yeah, those are the bumpers. But I mean, like they're on the bucket.
Okay, yeah, right.
So they help you. So if you're close to the bucket, it kind of acts like not a bumper, but
It
just
almost
an
makes the
extra
bucket bigger, you would say, or just bumps the ball back up.
Exactly.
Okay.
So
who's the one that has the extra ball that comes into play? Is
the
that
flower power?
Okay, yeah. All right.
Yeah, it's flower power. You get an extra ball. This pumpkin, the spooky one. That's where you drop that wherever your ball falls. That's not in the bucket. It comes from the top.
A new one appears from the top. Yeah.
But you only get one.
Right.
But I kind of hate that though, because if you aim over towards like the right or something where you have to actually go down like one small section,
right,
and your ball drops in a corner, it starts from the corner and drops straight down, and you just lose it.
Yeah, I didn't like using him that much. I think I used the Dragon a lot on the 360 version because he's got that fireball that and you can keep bouncing it off the drum as much as you can, and I think, don't you get 2 or do you just get 1 for each special?
Well, no, you get, for him you only get 1.
Because I know the unicorn you get like 3 of the
extra hits.
Well, it shows you where your ball's gonna bounce.
Yeah, the dragon once you get a green peg, you get 1 fireball. You get the other green peg, you get 1 more fireball.
Now, I'm pretty sure with what we've been talking about, it's almost exactly like the 360 version. But I was going to say, is there any challenges where you have to clear all the pegs in a level? No. Because we have a lot of challenges, and I can't remember about the 360 version, but on Peggle 2, there's trial versions of each level, and you get specials for getting a certain high score, clearing all the pegs in every level. That's always one of the options, and the last option is a random like trick shot. So they give you extra. It's real cool because each character, there's only 5 characters in a new one, I believe, and each one you get 4 different outfits for it, which is kind of neat.
I wish I had different outfits in this.
Well, you know what? They'll probably release Peggle 2 soon for the DS.
I did like the pinball aspect where if you get like just a really crappy shot and you lose your ball like right away, they give automatically a coin pops up and it's already spinning.
Yes.
And you get a free ball or no ball.
Right.
Like it.
I've seen in my experience that more often than not you get a free ball.
Yeah, they try to hook you up.
If you do it 2 times in a level, usually you get no ball if you already got a free ball.
Bam. Probability right there.
But a definitely awesome game. I'm glad that you are finally introduced, and I'm glad that they had a DS version because I really didn't think they did. And when you found that, I was shocked.
Yep. So overall score for this game, just for the replay value alone,
right?
That's like a 10 out of 10 because I can go back right now and just redo the whole thing,
right?
And I'd be all right with it. Playing a whole nother week of Peggle. I'd give it a solid 9 out of 10 for the game that it is,
right? And
being on the DS, absolutely.
That's same score I would have gave, which is the exact version for the 360 Peggle and Peggle Knights. I had to pay, I think it was $10 for the Peggle game. Then the Peggle Knights DLC came out and I had to pay $10 for that. So 20 altogether, which is pretty much what you paid for the whole package. So that's
and shipping and handling.
True.
Boom.
And like I said, I was so excited. I think it was the first episode that we did where I talked about The Wolf Among Us.
Yep.
Episode 2 finally came out. I got it the day it came out, of course.
And this is the game.
Right. I actually had a snow day off of work. So I went and I downloaded it. But that day I was like just so into playing Call of Duty. I was like, I'll download it and then I'll play it later. But I forced myself to play it. And of course, as soon as I started, I could not stop. This game is awesome. I love it. It's you don't really play it, you just watch it, and that's good enough for me because the storyline is so great. In this scene here, we got Big B who's getting ready to interview what's the woodsman who's tied up to the chair, and it all depends how you ended your last episode. If you captured the woodsman, you had an option to capture him or Tweedledum. They had Tweedledum and Tweedledee, the brothers, and one of them you would capture. You capture either the woodsman or Tweedledee. And depending who you picked, of course, they're sitting in the chair and you got to get answers out of them. Now, when I told you that episode 1 ended and they could have saved that to the end, they answer for it a lot in this new one.
Okay.
Like I said, I don't want to give anybody any spoilers because it's easy to do that in this game, and I made sure I got the screenshots that wouldn't spoil anything.
Okay.
But whatever you thought happened at the end of episode 1, things are about to change big time.
Boom.
This is Georgie Porgy right here. He's a pimp who runs a brothel type deal, a strip club, if you will.
I like his Batman, Jack Nicholson, Joker-esque
Look.
boombox.
Oh, his boombox, yeah. Yep. So, of course, Bigby comes in here to interview him because he's trying to get answers for what happened. And this right here, that's the Little Mermaid. I forget her real name. Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. It's so weird seeing these characters. You keep getting introduced to these fairy tale characters. I finally remember what the cloak spell's called. It's called Glamour. So you drink Glamour, and it makes you look like humans, which they call Mundies in the Mundy world. Like I said, basically, it's the fairy tale world came into the Mundy world, which is the human world, and they're trying to blend in by drinking glamour potions and making themselves look human. So they don't get like arrested or beat down because they're different, you know what I mean? Yeah. But it's a very awesome game. I played through Smoke and Mirrors, which is the episode 2 title. I beat it, got all the achievements for it, and I can't wait for episode 3, which is I probably have to wait another 2 months for.
You should probably slow down on that. You should probably just wait till
I was going to, but
the week after it comes out to download it.
Well, I was going to wait till all the episodes dropped, because usually when they do this, they'll release a single disc based with all the whole collection on it, like they did with The Walking Dead. Okay. And I might even buy that when it comes out. That way I have the whole disc base. I like having my stuff on a solid, compact disc.
Gotcha.
But yeah, that's I would give it the first episode. I think the first episode gave you more. It was longer than the second one. But all in all, still 9 out of 10. And by the time it's done, I might even boost up to 10 out of 10. If you're looking for a game, an action game, or whatever, look away. Because this is a specific storyline where you got to fight. Press X when it says press X. Press A when it says press A. You know what I mean? It's not that much to it, but the story's good enough for me, and I loved it. Review Goombas. You have anything else you want to talk about? Did you see any movies or anything you might want to add in?
Man, I saw so many movies
I know,
in the past 2 weeks.
That's what I thought. I can't even think of like the movies I've seen.
Well, I saw Rush.
Right.
The Ron Howard film about James Hunt and Niki Lauda.
That's
the F1 racers.
Thor playing him, right?
Yeah. It was Chris Hemsworth something. One of the Hemsworth brothers.
Chris.
Man, I saw The Great Gatsby.
Was that pretty good?
Yeah, it was. Dude, Leo kills it. Every movie he's in, he just kills it.
I heard he's pretty good in Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah,
I almost said Wolf Among Us, but can't wait for that movie.
What else did I see?
I seen a couple rom-coms last night because it was Valentine's Day. I was pretty much forced to watch. Yeah, pity me.
Yep.
But there was one that was good, and I think it was James Gandolfini's last movie before he died. Enough Said with him and Elaine from Seinfeld.
Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I love her and everything. She's funny.
She is funny.
Her.
Did you ever see Veep yet? Did you see Veep?
No, I want to start watching it. I heard it's pretty good.
Yeah.
But I even watched some of her old show, which has Agent Coulson from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Remember the guy he's even in the Avengers and a couple of the Marvel movies before.
Oh, yeah.
He's like one of the S.H.I.E.L.D. guys with the suit. He collects the Captain America cards and he dies in Avengers.
Yeah.
But they bring him back for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. He was her ex-husband or something in the New Adventures of Old Christine. That show was pretty funny too.
I'd never even heard of that.
Yeah, she had that before Veep. And I think it got canceled. But I liked it. It was pretty good. But she's funny, and that movie was pretty good. Enough Said, it's called.
Yeah.
But yeah, I forget what else I seen. I want to see Riddick. I wanted to get that yesterday, but it was all rented out of Redbox, and I don't feel like paying $6 to rent it on the Xbox or anything.
Yeah, no, not worth it.
I mean, you're going to pay that, you might as well go out and buy the movie.
Yeah.
Throw a couple extra bucks in. But yeah, before we get into top 10 times, since we were just talking about movies, I think this is a good opportunity to tell the people that Commotion Cinema Podcast will be launching very soon. We were targeting February, but we're going to target March, actually. And before it was just going to be commentary tracks. It's going to be commentary tracks, but we're also going to do a movie podcast. So,
Okay. All right.
Look for that in March. Another one, we're going to be doing the Winter Stormcast. I can't wait for this.
Yes.
This is going to be a no-edited, balls-to-the-wall show where we talk about any and everything. So look for that, and that's probably going to be a weekly deal.
Sweet.
And we're going to have different bands that we talk to and interview. We're going to have different people coming on the show all the time, people calling in, everything. So I can't wait for that. It's going to be a good one.
Yep.
But let's go ahead and get into our top 10 time. And today's a pretty good one because we're each going to be doing our top 10 list of all time.
All time. Look at that. That is my favorite Pokemon up there. That's Gyarados from the first gen. That's a good sound.
Love that sound. Catch that at the end.
Yep.
All right, top 10 time. Here we go. We're going to single camera this for each of us.
Yep.
For me, I actually had a couple honorable mentions that I wanted to talk about before I start my actual top 10. I have 5 honorable mentions.
Yes,
I would like to add so many more, and I don't want people to think, oh, your top 10 list is dumb. Don't care. You know what? This is my top 10. It's not saying these are the best games ever for everybody. This is my preference.
Yep. That's how I feel about my list, too.
Right.
I'm going to be like, people are going to judge me so hard just on my top 10.
Right. Well, you know what? You got to take into account how you actually felt at the time you started playing this game, what was going on in your life,
How you grew up,
right,
exactly.
Right. There's a lot of factors to it. Everybody's top 10 list would be different. There's some games on here that I'm sure would make a lot of other people's top 10. First, Loaded for the PlayStation. It wasn't the greatest game, of course, but there was a lot of things going on at the time that this came out that was just working for me. I loved the cover of it. I loved the music. It was an awesome game. Enough said. Star Tropics for the NES. This almost made my top 10 list. I love this game. Kev used to play it, and he introduced me to it, and it was such a good game. Flying by this list. SSX 3 for the Xbox. I want to say Xbox One, original Xbox.
Yep.
Yeah, they really screwed up with that Xbox One title. But yeah, I had so much fun playing this. SSX 1 almost made my list because when I first played that for the PS2, it was, oh my God, it was such a great time. Shadow of Destiny, great game. It's like a time travel game.
What was that for?
The PS2.
Okay.
It was so many different. It was the first game I played where there was just so many different angles that you could go, so many different endings depending on which path you chosen, and it was epic.
Mm-hmm.
X-Men for the Sega Genesis, my favorite Marvel game I think ever so far. Even though it was for the Sega Genesis, the graphics were incredible at the time, and you could play as, I think, 5 different X-Men: Nightcrawler, Wolverine, Gambit, Storm, Cyclops, all them on the front cover you could play as.
Real quick, was that set up like the separation anxiety for the SNES?
Kinda.
Where the enemies come from the right and you're just walking through, but you can...
Well, yeah, I mean, this game was more... they both were side-scrollers, of course.
Yeah.
This game, there was a lot of different paths they made. I remember each character had his own different level, which was cool.
Okay, all right.
So there was different ways to beat it, and the screen that it shows, there was a lot more if you jump up on a branch. The level got higher and higher. There's so many different paths you can take throughout a level. It's a great game. Dragon Quest VIII is my last honorable mention. Like we talked about it earlier, it's a great game. I love it. If I hadn't gone back and revisited it it might not make my honorable mention. The only reason I have an honorable mention list is because it's more games that I thought of. All right, here we go. Number 10 on the list, Skyrim.
Boom.
For the Xbox 360, which I've, of course, beaten.
Almost have all the achievements.
I went and created a couple different characters throughout the course of playing it, and I had evil character. I have my main character is a hero, of course. I always run through first as a hero. But yeah, that's number 10. Ready, people? Number 9, Castlevania Symphony of the Night.
You'll get it soon.
I'll get it. You play as Richter Belmont, is it? I can't even remember what character you play as. But they had recently an Xbox 360 version of this on the arcade, and I downloaded it. And right now I'm on the inverted castle part of it. It's so hard once you get to that point. I think Kev said he beat it before. I think the percentage of completion is 200.6%. Yeah, something like that.
So 200.6% is actually 100%.
Right. It's very weird because you're doing the one castle, 100.3%, then the inverted castle, 100.3%.
All right. Let's see what they did there.
Where are we at? Number 8, Shadow of the Colossus. Have you ever played this game? PS2.
No.
Wow. If you did, it probably would make your top 10 list.
Anything with the word Colossus in it.
Ain't. Now this is your character right here. I'll show you on the mouse counter. Right here's your character. And you're playing against guys that are that much bigger than you. And you think, how can they do that? But they managed to fit it. So if you're going to play this game, make sure you're playing on the biggest screen possible. And I hope if they didn't already, remake this game in HD so you can play on HD TV and have it
remaster
looking great. But yes, this next game, number 7, I debated on if it was going to be higher or not. But it made number 7 on my list. Final Fantasy III. You never played it, I'm pretty sure.
Nope.
The only RPG game I think that you really mess with is Pokemon.
For now.
And before RPGs, before Pokemon, this was the series right here, Final Fantasy.
I played Final Fantasy 7.
Oh,
8,
yeah.
8. I played 8.
PS1.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and these were like little sprite characters that you see on all the old Super Nintendo games.
Yeah.
Let's jump in. Number 6. Maniac Mansion for the Nintendo.
You made me buy this game.
Dude, this game
like 3 years ago.
Phenomenal. I love it, dude. And it's the whole thing I was talking about before, where I was at in life at the time. Just a young kid playing my first survival horror game. It was awesome. I loved it. It kind of scared me too. I mean, it's when you go back now and play it, it's like, how in the hell did that ever scare anybody? It's awesome. This almost made higher too. At number 5, we come in with Earthbound, which when this came out, I made my mom buy it for me. I even had the box that came with the strategy guide.
Didn't it come with something else too?
No, there was another game that came with a T-shirt. It was called Illusion of Gaia.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That was an awesome game too. I should have had that in my honorable mentions. But Earthbound, dude, if you look at eBay right now, you know how much it's going for with the box and the strategy guide and the game? Ain't it like, I've seen one in mint condition for almost $1,000.
Yeah, I see just the cart for $200.
Right, it's crazy. Like, I tried to download the ROM, and it's not as good as having it on the console.
You need the OG, man.
I know, man. I used to have it, and I don't know what I did with it. I don't know where it's at.
You probably traded in for the PlayStation.
No, I don't think I did, because even if I did, I should still have the strategy guide, because I wouldn't have traded in that. Yeah. It's out there floating around somewhere. It's probably on eBay right now. The copy that I had, that I owned, gone.
That's a sucky thought.
Coming in at number 4, and this would make a lot of people's number 1, A Legend of Zelda, Link to the Past. It's Kev's favorite game. Kev, our other brother, his favorite game. He stated that when we were at his house last weekend. And and you're getting ready to let me borrow Link Between Worlds.
Yeah.
Next week, my top 10 list might change because I'm hearing nothing but great things about that game. I can't wait to jump into it and play it.
Yeah, dude.
I think Call of Duty will be put on hold when I get that. You know what? Even
As it should be.
Titanfall will come out. I'll probably still be playing Link Between Worlds.
That's all you need, man.
Number 3 on the list, Red Dead Redemption. I dare anybody to play this game and not make their top 10 list because this game almost made my number 1 slot. This, in the past 10 years, best game I've ever played. I love it to death. I love the Western vibe. It's like Grand Theft Auto Western is what it is. You get to ride on a horse in the desert. Love it. Love it. I can't say enough good things about Red Dead Redemption. They're even making a movie about it here soon.
Sweet.
Number 2 on my list is Final Fantasy X. I love this game too. I don't even need to say I love this game for any of my top 10, or they wouldn't have made my top 10. Final Fantasy X is my favorite Final Fantasy ever. A lot of people disagree, but screw you. Number 1. You ready, people? Yeah, I gave you a second to guess. And you probably guessed right because I talked about it before. Resident Evil for the PlayStation is my favorite game of all time. And I don't care where it goes in the next 10 to 20 years, video games. I think Resident Evil will always be my favorite game of all time. There you have it. That's my top 10.
I remember playing Resident Evil for the first time.
This
That first zombie man, I could never get past him.
It was, for its time, it was the game. I mean, all the puzzles in it. It revolutionized such a big following with the movies, and most people don't think the movies are good, but there's a lot of people out there that absolutely love the movies. But that's it. That's my top 10, and
Boom.
If you don't like it, tough shit.
Yeah.
Let me move your box a little bit for you.
Yeah, sure. I'll hang out over here.
Okay.
So my top 10.
I have a feeling I know what your top 10 is.
I think you might, because I think we have pictures of them.
Yes, we do. And the
one of the first games that I've played for the PlayStation is Duke Nukem Time to Kill. Why this game was so fun? Probably because I was a little kid and shouldn't have been playing it. I mean, that's
funny.
That's pretty much why it's on my top 10. And the things that you could do with Duke Nukem and like, I remember you could go to the mirror and you'd be like, damn, I look good.
Yep.
I could go to the toilet and actually pee.
Yep. I never got to play that game that much. I played a little bit of it, but I'm sure you played a lot more than I did.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and it had a Western feel to it.
Yeah.
There was some Western levels, and all those pigs. I don't know what those pigs were for, but
yeah,
they were cool. I liked killing them.
I remember seeing them. I thought they were on the cover, but maybe not. I've seen them like in the advertisement spreadsheets on like Game Informer and stuff.
Yeah.
Game Pro and
so definitely a lot of fun. Yeah, you can see the ESRB rating down there.
Oh, I'm sure it's M.
Oh yeah, and I got it. I played it. So
yeah, back then it was easier to get the games too. I mean, of course, you being that young, you weren't walking into a game store with $60.
No, it wasn't.
You were going with your parents.
Yeah, I think I was about 6 or 7 when I started playing that. Number 9, NFL Street. That's all right. This game was so fun for me because like I could get around with some of my friends and just customize a whole team and name them all our friends. Like I'd be the quarterback, my best friend would be the running back.
Yep.
You know, we'd stack our stats so we'd be like just absolute monsters.
Of course.
And just do all these tricks on the course and stuff. It was fun.
Yeah, I remember doing that a couple different times with Madden. I would always make I couldn't make family because you'd have to put their last name and everybody would have been winners. And who's this one? Who's this one?
Yep. So that's my number 9 right there.
Nice.
Number 8,
Not a bad
Gran
game
Turismo.
Here. That's an awesome game.
This introduced me into the racing world, and I still love me a good racing game.
Yeah, it's a good simulation for racing.
Gran Turismo 3, I think, was what really got me into it, especially the endurance races.
Yeah.
And then I could just be spec a 24-hour while I'm at school.
Right.
Like Nürburgring, 24 hours. Yeah, I'll do it in 8. Put it on times 3. Come home, I'm on lap like 600. But yeah, love that game.
All the
love
licenses
all the cars.
that you had to get for that game, man. Some of them were tough. And didn't you do it before? And someone it got deleted off the memory card or something.
Should we not talk about that?
Yeah, that's a sad day.
Yeah, but at least they give you a car for doing it. So what are we on here? 7?
Yep, number 7.
Super Mario Land 3. This was a game I remember. I specifically remember opening this on Christmas Day. I think I had a Game Boy Color then, even though this wasn't a Game Boy Color game. Our sister's favorite game was Super Mario Land 2, 6 golden coins. Yeah. So sure enough, I got the one right after that, Super Mario Land 3, Wario's first game, and it was a different aspect playing as Mario's evil twin brother, even though that's not exactly what he is.
Was this Wario's first appearance, or was he the end boss in Mario Land 2?
He was the end boss in Mario Land 2.
Right,
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Overall fun game. I mean, I still remember all the different secrets and a lot of different cool stuff that they threw in that was exclusive to Wario, and Mario didn't necessarily have. Power-ups were pretty cool.
Don't you still revisit the game now and then?
Yep.
Yeah.
Go through and beat it.
Of course.
So, the next one, I should probably not have been playing when I was as young as I was.
No. And I think we said on the podcast before, we were at Lito's Pizza eating, and we were going next door right after we were done eating to
good old Funko Land.
Each get a copy of Grand Theft Auto Vice City. You were up on the 3rd floor playing. I was in the basement playing at the same time.
Yep.
Trying to see who could get further in the next 2 hours.
I just like joyriding, man.
Yeah,
and running people over, finding the unique stunt jumps. Absolutely.
That was an awesome game.
Yeah. I mean, not much to say about it. If anybody who has played this game, you already know how awesome it is.
I love how it had the Miami world. It was awesome.
Definitely. Yeah, I liked the retro stuff, the 80s stuff.
It had cool. The 80s soundtrack too. It was awesome. Any station you put on, you got a good old song on it.
Yep. So, what are we on here? What's next?
Number 5.
Number 5, which is on your top 10.
Yes, it is.
Skyrim.
But I got a picture for you. That's Link. It's a sweet custom Skyrim poster someone made with Link on it. I decided to give you a little Nintendo vibe for your Skyrim.
Cool, because that's it doesn't matter. Yeah, it's one of the few non-Nintendo games I've played and have dabbled with, especially here lately, because that's for a 360, and I only got a 360 for this game.
I remember when you bought this, you asked me to borrow the strategy guide, and you had to go rent a truck to haul the strategy guide over to your house.
I did.
Did you see the size of the Skyrim strategy guide?
Yeah, it was probably...
You needed like 5 people to turn the page to the next one.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
A couple of Fred Flintstones. But, I mean, you already talked about this game. It's on my top 10 as well. And I haven't even played it as much as you have. No. And that just goes to show how awesome that game really is.
I'm glad it made your top 10. I mean, it's worth it. Anybody who's played it knows that it's one of the best games of all time.
And anybody who has played this game knows.
Number 4 on your list.
Yeah, Super Mario 64.
Wow. Just looking at that picture there makes me want to grab it and play it right now.
Takes you back, man.
Yeah.
What do you remember from this game?
I remember when I first got my Nintendo 64. Of course, that was the game that came with it.
Yeah.
And just, oh my God. You know what level I specifically remember about this one was didn't you slide down the ice world sliding? I love sliding. I think you had to race a penguin or something.
Penguin.
Yes,
yep.
That's what I remember.
Do you know there's a secret passage in that
level? Yes, I do. But if I played it now, I wouldn't remember it.
I'll show you where it's at.
Yeah, because I want to borrow it and play that game again.
Dude, I have like 18 Nintendo 64s.
I also remember, we're stretching Mario's face. I forget how you get to that screen.
It's like the start screen, right before the start screen.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And didn't you have to do it with like the second controller or something?
Yeah.
Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
I think. But I'm really glad that this game actually had 4 memory files, because again, people delete them somehow.
Right.
Because I guess they're just ignorant to what's this delete.
Right.
And I actually got to
Mario
120.
World had 3.
Yeah, it did have 3 little tunnels, and you deleted Brittany's save on there.
No, that was on the Game
Super
Boy.
Mario Land.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, she was pissed.
Yeah.
That was just a couple of years ago, like last Christmas.
So,
It's like, what are you still playing the game for? No. I remember Super Mario World for the Super Nintendo.
yeah.
What was the thing? Was it Star 69 or didn't you have like a completion percentage? How did you know you were complete on Super Mario World? Do you remember?
On Super Mario World?
Yeah, for the Super Nintendo, the game that came with the Super Nintendo. Well, regardless, what was the completion thing for this? Didn't you have to get like 100 stars or
120 stars.
120 stars, okay.
Yep.
Yes, I remember like isn't there a star at the end of each level? They're not hidden. They're just
Well, yeah, every level you get a certain star.
Right.
Each world you typically had about 8.
But they weren't hidden. You just got it when you completed the world, right?
They usually when you went into the painting of the level,
Right.
they usually told you ba, 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 ba. They,
Yep.
right there,
Right.
they tell you what one you're going to be doing.
Okay.
But I mean, if you got the 8 red coins, that's like a given. Like you got to get 8 red coins in each world.
Okay.
So that was a pretty cool aspect too. Like they pretty much told you the mission that you should be doing on that attempt
Right.
at that world.
Seems
So,
like every Mario they add a little bit more to it, to completion percentage.
yeah. I remember. I think it's 70. You get to play Bowser, and he was a jerk. You got to pick him up by a tail and make him hit those bombs.
That's right. Yep.
Rough. All right, we talked enough.
Number 3.
Yes.
Speaking of number 3,
Yeah. Go
Number
figure.
3.
Super Mario Brothers 3. This game.
this makes a lot of top 5 on a lot of other people's lists.
I remember getting this game recently when I was starting my Nintendo collection, just a couple years ago actually, and playing it, and I remembered all the secrets needed to beat the game.
Right. The
how
2
did I-
whistles were the main thing.
Yeah, and there's a hidden third one.
Right.
A lot of people don't know that. I'm sure you do.
Yes.
But no, like from not playing that game for, I remember playing it with Brittany, but way back in the day. I mean, like over a decade later, I'm getting it again,
Right.
and I play it, and I know all the secrets already.
Right.
I'm like, man, this is wild.
You know, this
Like the music block that sends you up, and you get all the coins and shit.
You know what? I think this was the most hype Nintendo game ever because before it came out, it was on a movie. I think it was called The Wizard or something like that with Fred Savage, and either his friend or his younger brother was like game genius, and he's just this little kid, and he goes to the Nintendo Championship, and they're playing Super Mario 3, and this was before Mario 3 came out to the public. So
Okay.
you're just watching it like, I cannot wait to play this game. And it lived up to the hype.
Well, I did not know that, but that's awesome.
Yeah, you got to see that movie. I think it's called The Wizard. I'll look it up later. And
Second time I mentioned Fred Savage.
yes, anyway, it's Fred Savage Day.
Yeah. Yeah, so Super Mario Brothers 3, hands down on my top 10. Number 2, not a Nintendo game.
That's right.
Well, I mean, it's on a Nintendo, but it's not exclusive to Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance Part 1, because number 2 came out, but didn't come out for the GameCube, which had me a little upset.
I remember playing this with you, and I was like, man, when you walk through the water, I was like, look how cool that looks.
Yeah, and it actually rippled.
Yeah.
So, I remember playing this for the PlayStation 2. I'm glad you got that picture up there. Did come out for the GameCube and the Xbox. Number 2 only came out for the Xbox and PlayStation 2. Very expensive game still to find.
Yeah.
Anyway, Baldur's Gate, the engine used to play that to make that game, I think they actually call it the Dark Alliance engine.
Okay.
Just what a great system. I mean, you can like customize your character, the weapons, the armor, build up your stats and stuff. Stamina and all this and all that. And then they had Champions of Norath that came out after this using the same engine.
Yep.
Even that's an awesome game, and it's so awesome because it's like the multiplayer. Like, you kind of almost need to play it with a second person to
it helps out a lot.
have a lot of fun with it.
And that's what makes a lot of games that much better is when you're multiplayer and not even online with 2 people in the same room playing at the same time, not waiting for your turn, playing at the same time.
Co-op.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's one of the first games, maybe not, but one of the first games I played where you can play at the same time. So You know,
Yeah.
and you kind of get along a lot better when you do that, because if you're fighting against somebody in Street Fighter, you get mad when they beat you. You're like,
Yeah, and you throw a controller and you break
Right.
it.
But when you're playing together like that in a co-op game, it's so much fun.
Yeah. You beat this on hard mode. You unlock expert mode, then you can unlock Drizzt, which you were talking about earlier.
Yep.
And then you could go through and do the dungeon, and go through and beat all the characters from easiest to hardest through one little dungeon at a certain amount of time. This is the toughest thing I've ever done, ever.
Do they max out a level? Like, do you max out at a certain level?
I don't think I
You
did.
just keep going and going?
Yeah. I mean, with 2-player, I mean, you guys share experience points, so
Yeah.
you don't really have a chance to max out.
Right.
Number 1.
I think I know. And if I didn't know, even if the pictures weren't in front of me, I probably could have guessed. Maybe not this specific one, but
Yeah.
one of them.
Yep.
And here it is. CamWintendo's number 1 game of all time.
Pokemon Gold and Silver.
I never
Yeah.
played them.
When I was in, I think, 3rd grade, that's when, Red, Blue, and Yellow were coming out. Actually, it might have been 2nd grade. It doesn't matter. So I never really got a chance to play them and enjoy them as much as I did the second one.
Right.
Well, the second gen, which would be Gold, Silver, and Crystal. When they came out, I was like the perfect age to go through a game and like understand it and complete it the way that it should have been done. And the Pokemon being only 251 rather than 150, like they only added 100, it was like perfect, the perfect amount. And then at the end, after you beat the Elite Four, you go back through and do the first 8 gyms from the first one.
Right.
I'm like, genius.
Yes.
Like, awesome. Absolutely awesome. And at the very, very end, after you do all that, beat the Elite Four again, go back and beat Ash, or Red, or Blue, whatever they call it. I think they called him Red, on top of Mount Silver. And he has a Pikachu, the Blastoise, Charizard, Venusaur, Snorlax, and I forget the last one, Alakazam, I think. All at like high 70s, low 80s, and that's a challenge right there. And doing that at like 9 years old, 8, sweet.
Did you play all 3 versions?
I did, yeah. And I have them all, still have them. Have the Japanese ones now.
Are these games eligible for the Pokemon Bank to transfer? Or do they go back too far?
Well, not the Game Boy version.
Right. So they have a DS version of this?
Yeah, they made Heart Gold and Soul Silver, which you can transport to Pokemon Black, White, Black 2, or White 2, which you can then transfer to X and Y.
So you could transfer before without the Pokemon Bank.
Correct.
Now, why did they change that with the Pokemon Bank?
Well, it's all about the generation. Like,
Okay.
There was no way to get from right now. There was no way to get from Pokemon Black 2 and White 2
Because they were on
to X and
Advance?
Y. Well, they were on the DS,
Okay.
but this is a 3DS.
Right. Gotcha.
Generation stuff and
Gotcha.
the generation gap.
True that.
So my top 10.
That's not a bad top 10 at all.
So
I was going to add an honorable mention for you because I know there was a game that didn't make this list that you probably wanted to add because I think that you used to like a lot. Twisted Metal.
yeah, and I thought about putting it in there.
Right.
I did.
Because that game, I remember you playing that a lot.
I played the hell out of that game.
That was an awesome game.
Twisted Metal 2. 3. 3 is the one I played the most.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah. Because Twisted Metal, I actually bought Twisted Metal recently for my girlfriend Brooke, because she used to play it all the time, and I was like, "What? This is Twisted Metal?
Yeah.
Totally different
Yeah,
setup than
because
2 and 3."
they didn't have enough time. Because of course with 2 and 3 they have more time to add more elements and all that to it.
Yeah, so 3 is where it's at.
Boom. That's another episode down. This has been the GoldStar Podquest with our episode 3. Episode 4 might be next weekend. Might be the weekend after. Because we're going to double up since it's been a while since we...
It's been a great while. And I'll be playing Pikmin 3.
Of course.